Good afternoon, y'all. Can I even say hi to our friends? Chase is at work. If you are new, my name is Bryce. My husband Chase is a welder, welds on various power plants, refineries across the country. I've mentioned this a few times in some of our videos about what I've done in the past for work. And today we are doing a full deep dive video onto probably what I think is a traveling job that pretty much anyone can do, pays really, really well. We're gonna go through literally everything. We're going to talk about how I got into it, what it entails, the job title, what you will need, because there are some things you will need. The last 2 times Chase has worked at these refineries, I was not able to work with him because I didn't have one thing. So we're going to talk about that because I am going to start working on this thing. I'm also going to talk to you about how to find these jobs, and I'm actually going to do a screen recording on my laptop to step by step, because sometimes if I can show it to you, y'all be like, it's that easy. We're going to talk about fire watching. Now, before you even get any ideas of what it is so easy, y'all. I wish I would have started doing this a lot sooner with Chase when he started traveling. We've been full-time RVers for almost 4 years this coming March, which is absolutely crazy. And I didn't start doing this job as a fire watch until maybe a couple years into it. Was not really I knew it was there because Chase works around these types of people, but in the sense of me actually doing it, I wish I would have known about it sooner, but that is okay. I've also made quite a bit of money doing this, to where, I mean, as someone who even has a degree, I make more money doing this than when I had, like, with using my degree, which is crazy, but that's just how it is. A fire watch. Within a plant, nuclear, refinery, whatever type of plant, there is what they call hot work performed, whether it's welding, grinding, any type of spark or heat that is created is considered hot work. And so they need someone who is called a fire watch. Someone who literally, y'all, your minds are gonna be blown. Literally someone who just stands back with the fire extinguisher and make sure nothing catches on fire. It is that easy. You wait 30 minutes after they are done performing their hot work, and you stay there to make sure nothing else catches on fire. And that is literally it. That's all it entails, y'all. It is so easy. How I got into this: Chase was working at a nuclear plant in Virginia, and the company that Chase was working for, they said, hey, since your wife is here, we need more fire watches. You want to come and do it? And at first I was like, oh, that sounds like, my mind couldn't, I don't know, like in my mind, I had already made it sound so much harder than it actually was for some reason. And so I told Chase, I said, no, don't worry about it. And they told me how much I could make. And Chase was like, you know what, let's just try it and see what happens. I was like, okay. I had to go buy a few things, which we'll talk about. And sure enough, I worked with Chase at a nuclear plant in Virginia. I worked 6 days, 12-hour shifts, from, I think it was 6 to 6 or something like that, day shift. And I was like, man, this is actually not that bad. And then we went to another nuclear plant in Phoenix, Arizona, outside Phoenix, Arizona. Worked that one with him as well. I actually worked on night shift with him. Well, I was actually on different crews with Chase, but I was working nights, doing the same exact thing. And y'all, it was so easy. Let's talk about the hours. The hours are going to vary. Like I said, I have worked day shift and I have worked night shift. You don't really get a say. It's just kind of what it is. Typically it's 12-hour shifts. I have seen some online where they are 10-hour shifts, but typically it is 12-hour shifts. You get paid an hourly and you get time and a half after 40 hours. Here's the kicker. Some of them will pay per diem, which is absolutely crazy, meaning a daily stipend for your housing, because you are in control of your own housing, which is really not that bad. There have been a few times, I'll link to one of these videos, that we did have a little bit of a hard time trying to find an RV park, but after that, we stay at RV parks that are very basic. Like the RV park we're at right now, we're paying $575 for the month. That includes everything, even free laundry, which is crazy. That has never happened. This is the second RV park we stayed at that has had free laundry, but we stay at places that are relatively not fancy, but safe, clean, your bare minimum RV park. That's all we need. In Virginia, we do pay a little bit more just because of the area and there's really nothing else around. It really varies, but we try to stick around the $600 a month for our RV spot. I know, like if you do gate guarding and stuff, sometimes they will provide you a spot for your RV, but the per diem is way more than what you will spend for a monthly thing. So trust me, I will get to how much they pay you, or at least what they paid me and then what I'm seeing now. That is the lengths, days or nights. You will maybe have to climb into things. It is not a very taxing on your body in the sense of you're not lifting things. Now you will have to carry a fire extinguisher maybe here or there, but in the sense of you are not hauling stuff all the time. You may have to climb up a ladder, scaffold. That's just kind of part of it. But in the sense of like super physical, it's not really that taxing on your body. Now, the hours are very long. I'm not gonna lie to you. Working 72 hours a week is really long. But for us, we like to work a lot of hours in the spring, a lot of hours in the fall, sometimes in the winter time, and then we like to take the summers off. We just go do whatever we want. We prefer it to be that way because in the summertime, we can go see whatever. We can go to different states we've never been to, national parks, go see people. So for us, that's how we like to do it. So I know 72 hours is a lot, but considering how we like to make all of our money in different chunks and then go and take time off. Housing, you are on your own for housing, like I just mentioned. Now, what you will need, work clothes. Now, for nuclear plants, you just need basic work clothes. You will need long sleeve shirts. Cannot wear short sleeve shirts in the plants. You will need long sleeve shirts. You will also need, it doesn't really matter like what kind of long sleeve shirts you have. I mean, just like regular t-shirt material long sleeve shirts is what I wear. And then you will also need jeans. No holes, no nothing, just I get my jeans at Tractor Supply. They're the Blue Mountain. They're cheap, they're great. I've had my Blue Mountain jeans for years and they are awesome. You just need regular jeans. Please don't wear skinny jeans, ladies. And then work boots. You will need work boots. I highly encourage you, if you do this, get work boots that have a composite toe or steel toe, because even though some plants will not super enforce that on you, it is a safety that you wear something that is safety toed. So I'll show you what I have. Actually, I'll just show you my work boots. We keep them in this cool little cubby. So my work boots, again, I got a very cheap pair at Tractor Supply when I first started because that was the only thing that was around and I needed something quick. And I think I spent under $100 for them. But the ones I have now are these right here. See if I can. These are what I have. I love these. They're Red Wing. They are lace up. They are waterproof. They don't need to be waterproof. Hear this? Oh, sorry. Kenai. No one's here. Sorry. Should not have done that. Hey, Kenai, stop that. Stop that. Hey, stop that. Whoops. So you will need some sort of work boot. Please get something with a safety toe. I hear stories and it's just for your safety. Get something that has a composite toe, steel toe. That is pretty much it. When I started doing this, I bought literally the basics and I don't remember how much I spent. It wasn't that much. I got just cheap long sleeve shirts that I could find at Walmart and started from there. That was pretty much it. If you work nuclear plants, which I have done primarily just nuclear plants, Chase is going to talk about the refineries whenever he comes back from work today. And you do get a day off. Now, if you do the refineries, a lot of times you will work 13 days and get the 14th day off, or sometimes you'll just work straight through until the job is done. So it really just depends on the job situation. I've seen some job postings where you could work 10 hours a day. The other thing that you will need, it's not absolutely required for some jobs, but I am seeing it more and more prevalent for jobs, is you will need a TWIC card. A TWIC card is the Transportation Worker Identification Credentials, also known as a TWIC, is required by the Maritime Transportation Security Act for workers who need access to secure areas of the nation's maritime facilities and vessels. So it also counts as TSA pre-check if you care about that. Chase has a TWIC card. I do not have a TWIC card. I could have worked this last job that he's on currently and the job prior. I could have worked with him if I had a TWIC card. The 2 nuclear plants that I have worked at did not require a TWIC card, but for me, since Chase is starting to do more of these refineries, he's at a chemical plant currently. Since he's starting to do more of those, I see myself having the benefit of a TWIC card. Now, a TWIC card does cost some money. It's $124, but with the money you make, it will pay for itself. Now, a TWIC card, it's not an absolute, you go in and you get it. It's like fingerprint scannings, all that stuff. They run a background check. So it does take a few weeks to get a TWIC card. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you apply for a job, you're not gonna get a TWIC card right away. So like, even right now, Chase literally just started. I would not get a TWIC card in time to do this job with him. So that is something that I'm working on, is getting a TWIC card, and I'll take you along that process whenever I start doing that. When you do a nuclear plant, this is the process. You will apply, you will submit your resume. They just need something for on file. And so you submit a resume, they do a background check, a very extensive background check. And then once you pass that, then you will show up to the plant, and then you have to do computer-based training. They train you on how to do everything. They even do practicals where you go, they put on a harness, they show you how to put on a harness, and then you have to go on and put a harness. They show you how to work the fire extinguisher, and then you have to work the fire extinguisher. So there's a lot of computer training to where if you don't know, if you're like, I have no idea what I'm doing, they teach you everything. It took me 3 days in a computer lab to do everything. Some of the training you are tested on. So you have to read all these different things, and then they test you at the end, and you do have to pass those tests. But if you do it, really take your time, read through everything. What I did is when I got to a page on the computer, I would reread it a few times. And then before I switched to the next page, I would ask myself, like, do I understand this page? What the main topics are, or different numbers, different codes, systems, and all that stuff. And then I would go to the next page. And so I would take my time. Really take your time with these things, because it is a lot. And if you rush through it, it can get very overwhelming. Computer-based training, take your time. That is the first thing that they will do, and then you will get your badge, and then you will start working. Those computer-based trainings, they pay you for that, so you're not just sitting there not getting paid. You do get paid for that. That is for nuclear. Chase is going to talk about the refineries whenever he comes back, because I have not done a refinery job with Chase for Firewatch. Now we're going to talk about how to find these jobs, because I know someone is going to ask, how do I find this job? Have no fear. You're gonna go to Facebook. Yes, if you watched our how to find traveling jobs, actually I'm gonna move over here. If you've watched how we find traveling jobs, we really encourage Facebook groups. There are so many Facebook groups out there, y'all. We really encourage you to use Facebook to find jobs. It is so easy. So we are on, yes, we have a Facebook page. You can follow us there or on Instagram. Also, if you have any questions about any of this, please leave them below. We are more than willing to help y'all out as much as we can. I know this is a job that no one talks about when it comes to traveling, and you don't need a skill, because they teach you everything. Onto Facebook, you are going to type in fire watch jobs. Just type that. Wow. All right, we have a bunch of different Facebook groups. We have Firewatch jobs and turnarounds. Turnarounds are what they consider big maintenance projects on plants. That's what Chase primarily does. Turnarounds, outages, I can't remember the other one that he calls it. So those are the kind of the keywords. Shutdowns, those are the keywords that you are going to need to be looking for. So those, all right, so that one has like 21 members, 2 posts a year. I really wouldn't worry about that one. Per diem, helper, laborer, Firewatch jobs. I forgot to mention, per diem, you do not get taxed on your per diem. So that is really, really nice. All right, now we have all of these. Firewatch, any Firewatch entry, Firewatch, whole watch, entry level industrial helpers. Now, if you want a separate video on more jobs that do not require a skill, because there are a few more out there, especially now that we're in this more, I am seeing more and more pop up. If you'd like a video on that, leave a comment below. More than happy to do one for y'all. So, looking for plant jobs, hiring in Lake Charles area. Now, what I would do is I would look at these posts and I would go to the comments section, because some people or some companies will say, hey, so-and-so is hiring, or hey, look at this group, or hey, this and that. Don't just look at the posts, also look at the comments. Road Dog Jobs is a great tool. Road Dog Jobs has so many different Facebook groups. It's crazy, like the actual company. And so a lot of people will post jobs and stuff on there as well. So that is a good one to do. Helper, whole watch, Firewatch, and laborer. That has quite a few members. I don't have that one. I'm gonna join that one. Pending. All right, let's see what other. There are so many different Facebook groups, y'all. Really encourage you to get on as many as you can. All right, so that's just Firewatch jobs. That's just typing that. This is the per diem. See, like, look, go to the comment section. This person said check total safety. So there you go. I have seen some people, yeah, open position. Outside machinists. Yeah, so that's that. All right, now let's go back to Firewatch jobs. All right, here we go. This one said we are hiring positions for Firewatch welders, helpers, laborers, plumbers, painter, 8 hours payday. So many different. Look, this company's hiring labor 1. No, they're right here. 22 an hour helpers. And this is just typing in Firewatch jobs. Let's just type in Firewatch. Just see what happens. Firewatch, Whole Watch, Sulphur, Louisiana, Indeed. Indeed's another place to look on. I know Road Dog Jobs has an actual separate like a website where you can type in stuff, but honestly, Facebook I've seen more. Another thing to do, Firewatch, nuclear. Here we go. Day and Zimmerman, DZ. Hiring Firewatch. Yep. This one is in South Carolina. Usually these outages can range anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. Sometimes they can be months on end. So it really just depends. So like they're hiring. Yep, Road Dog Jobs, that one right there. All right, now we've typed in Firewatch. We've typed in like Firewatch nuclear, Firewatch jobs. I also forgot to mention, if you are working these refinery jobs, you will need FR clothing, fire resistant clothing. It is a little bit more money. So working in these refineries may have a little bit of an upfront cost, but it just depends on if you want to stay busy year round, having things for refineries, nuclears, and all that stuff. Probably I would encourage it personally, but that's just me, because I am gonna invest in a TWIC card and all that stuff, and some FR clothing. FR clothing, ladies, it's hard finding FR clothing. I'm sorry, it is what it is. Online is probably going to be your best bet. Maybe Cavender's or Boot Barn, or like especially in Louisiana, Mississippi, South Texas, there's some, they call it safety warehouse places that will have clothing for women that's FR, but FR is just so expensive. It's just, I get it, but it's just like, seriously. So now let's type in nuclear power plant jobs, just for giggles, because it will not take you that much to see. Dan Zimmerman. Maverick Group. Let's see what they're hiring. Laborers. Laborer is kind of, I would still kind of look into it, because sometimes laborers can fall under the Firewatch. So I would look into that. Westinghouse. So you get the idea. There are so many different Facebook groups out there. Google can help a little bit. I would try Google, just throw it out there and just see what happens. But try Firewatch, Firewatch jobs nuclear, Firewatch refineries. Maybe type in a plant that you know of and see if they're hiring on Facebook as well. I actually found out that not this job, but the previous job was hiring Firewatch, because I typed in the plant that we were at, and sure enough, on Facebook, they were hiring Firewatch. Stinks, but it is what it is. Now, with these companies, there might be some companies that hire Firewatch that do not advertise for it. So what I would encourage you to do if you are wanting to get into this is just get your first job. Because once you get your foot in the door, then it is easy to network, it is easy to meet people, see what companies they've ran with. It might be a little bit difficult to get your first one, but once you get your first one, then it gets a little bit easier to do this on your own. Now, probably wondering, how much do you get paid? When I did this, my very first one, I got paid $18 an hour. I got paid per diem, and I actually got paid travel, which some do and some don't when it comes to travel. So I got $500 going and I got $500 leaving. And I worked with Chase for 2.5 weeks on that job. Now, Chase worked a little bit longer than me because at the end they didn't need me, and so I was kind of one of the first people to get laid off in a way. So I got like an easy $1,000 already. Now, I got paid $18 an hour, and I also got paid per diem, which is absolutely nuts. I can't remember how much per diem was, but I'm pretty sure it was a little bit over $100 a day. I got per diem 7 days a week, so $700 for the week on per diem. Now, this is obviously before tax. 18, yes, I'm using my calculator, times 40. So for 40 hours at $18 is $720, but I am working 72 hours. 18 times time and a half times 32. I got an extra $864. 864 plus the 720 equals 1,584, 1,584. Now that is obviously before tax. Now, we forgot per diem plus 700. That is a week for one person working Firewatch. Isn't that crazy? Sorry about the glare. That was that one job. I have worked another nuclear job with Chase, and I got paid $20 an hour, no per diem, no travel. But it was worth for me to do that with Chase because we were already there for his job. Would it have been nice to get per diem also? Yeah, absolutely. I'm not gonna lie. But since I was already there, why not? I worked again another 72 hours a week at $20, so 20 times 40 equals, yes, I know I'm using my calculator, 800, but I worked 72. So 20 times time and a half equals times 32 equals 960 plus the 800. I got paid $1,760. That is obviously before tax. That is a week. That does not include housing. You are in charge of your own housing. I just wanted to remind you about that. Personally, I would rather get per diem, because per diem, more than likely you are not going to pay. Like, let's just say if they say, oh, your site is free, we typically pay around like the $600 a month. Well, I get that like plus a week in per diem, just letting you know that. But if you have any questions about Firewatch, if there's something that you do not know, leave them below. Chase is going to talk about the refineries whenever he comes back. It is construction. So if you're around a lot of other blue collar guys, there's not that many women in this industry. I'm fine with that, but I'm letting you all know so that way you're not going into this thinking like, oh my gosh. I hope that is encouraging that this job, y'all, it's so easy. If I get the opportunity to work with Chase and do a Firewatch, I will take it, because why not make the extra $1,500 a week if that does not include per diem or travel? I mean, why not? If you're someone who is traveling and you're like, you know what, I don't want to work remotely, I don't want to do work camping, we prefer to make our chunk of money at the beginning and then have time off. That is just us. We're gonna wait for Chase to come back from work, and he's going to talk about refineries, styles, I guess, or ways from nuclear versus refinery, because he'll be able to explain that. I obviously won't be able to. I also just remembered, as I'm trying to find Firewatch jobs and stuff, if you see a company, a construction company, that even though they're not promoting that they need Firewatch, I would still call them. Try to find a number, reach out to them, because some of these companies will hire in-house, Firewatch people, and even though they don't promote it, I would still call. Maybe type in nuclear jobs or refinery jobs, see what the company is. Look on their website, call them and ask them, hey, are you hiring Firewatch? Because I know sometimes it can be, you try one way and it's frustrating. You're like, oh, but if you just kind of think outside the box of, yes, Facebook is a great tool. And yes, you want to type in Firewatch. If you type in other resources like nuclear jobs, like we've done that before. And like, I'm just going to type it in right now and see. Sorry, I don't have a screen recording. And I'll do like nuclear power plant jobs. Like I see a few companies, and then maybe I'll just call them and say, hey, are you hiring Firewatch? Hope that gives you another like little extra thing. Yes, Google is great. I would still do Google. The more ways you search things, you're gonna get different results each time. So don't just think, oh, I'm gonna type in Firewatch jobs and everything's gonna come up. No, that's just not how it works. Try different keywords that will help you. Like, make sure you type in per diem. If that is a deal breaker, like you need to have per diem, which I understand, then make sure you add per diem to the list or call them and see. Making that much money a week, yeah, it's long hours, but I mean, it's really not that bad. I feel like every time I stop, I find all the good stuff. I am on a Facebook group called Firewatch, Whole Watch, which if you want another video on other trades that don't require skill for these plants, let me know, because I can explain Whole Watch. Entry-level industrial helpers, one person right now, safety attendant, $19 to $20 an hour, $100 a day per diem, $350 travel pay in and out. So when you leave, you get another $350. 7/10s, which means 7 days a week, 10-hour shifts, or 7/12s. And then, yeah, so that's just that one. Must have a TWIC card. And then this gentleman, this is why you look at the comments section, y'all. Someone commented saying, any Firewatch, Whole Watch, or labor jobs hiring. It could be anywhere as long as they pay per diem. Then this gentleman said, on point and total safety. And then he gave a list of companies to apply for. And it's a pretty big thing, but he also said, tip, utilize the search bar in the groups and type in the group titles, and from there contact the companies or person. Also, Google should be your best friend. You need to kind of put forth a little, be creative on how you search things, because you honestly never know. And that is the Facebook group called Firewatch, Whole Watch, Entry-Level Industrial Helpers. I would find groups that have a lot of members in it. This one has almost 10,000 members in it. So the more members, usually job postings are going to be posted up more in those type of things. I'm just trying to help y'all out as much as I can, because I understand if you don't know this, you just don't know what to do. And y'all, this job, it's so easy. $18 an hour plus per diem with travel and accommodations paid. So if you're seeing this, try to find this Facebook group. Hope that helps. How was work?
Great. Day 3.
Yeah.
In the books. It's good. Still prefabbing.
Which
It'll be done
means
this week.
Like, for those who don't know what prefab means.
Prefab, just building everything in the shop, and then we're going to install it.
Gotcha.
At a later date.
Gotcha. So we were talking about, or me and the viewers were talking about Firewatch. Look at this stuff. We were talking about Firewatch jobs, and since I've only done nuclear, is there really a difference between refineries and nuclear?
There isn't really a difference. Just you still got to sign on to the JSA, which is the Job Safety Analysis sheet that everyone has to sign on, just to be aware of the hazards, conditions of your work area. Nuclear and refineries, really the Firewatches have the same roles and responsibilities.
And they teach you all that there too. So like, if you don't know, don't be intimidated by it, because for me, I think I was very much intimidated by it, but they teach you everything, and everyone is really kind and helpful. Yeah. Like, if it's your first time, they'll be able to show you what to do.
They're not just gonna send you out there by yourself. You're gonna be with another more of a veteran Firewatch, or someone that's been there, done that for a little while, and they know the ropes. Yeah. And then you'll kind of be able to go with different crews or wherever they send you. I
was telling them too, we like to be able to work a lot and then take off.
Yes.
That's just kind of how we've done it the past 4 years or so. And it's just worked well.
Yeah.
That way.
Great.
All right, well, if I have anything else about Firewatch, I will add it to the end of the video, but I hope that helps. I hope that kind of gives you another job to look for that does not require a skill set in the sense of like Chase is a welder. Pretty much anyone can do this as long as you can handle paying attention for 12-hour shifts. You don't need to, like, I was telling them, you don't have to like carry heavy stuff like a fire extinguisher, you know what I mean?
And a bucket for you to sit on.
Pretty much. And yeah, it's pretty. I've seen some people who are pretty up there in the age doing this stuff. So if you're physically able to, it's a job that you can look into. Then we're gonna leave it at that. We're going to, I'm gonna clean the kitchen up and hit the sack. If you like this video, if you want to see more videos of jobs that don't require a skill, because we've been finding a lot more recently, leave a comment. We'll make another video on that. But we wanted to do a specific Firewatch job because I've done it and I can actually like speak to it. Thank you so much. If you appreciate it, please subscribe, like, leave a comment, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Peace.
Kenai.